Are devotees here yet?
Yes, we have about 9 people here, 8 or 9. So we're good. Go for it.
Hare. I'll just chant for a few minutes. I mean, to myself, and while waiting for the devotees to come. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sudevi, Mataji.
Who is that?
Devi Mataji.
Sudevi.
Who is it? Sudevi?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, mother. I'm always happy to hear you.
Hare Krishna.
You have to make me better, you know? Anyway, I should say hello. Hare Krishna Prabhus, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. So, I'm on something different today, and I don't know. I can't see you. The thing is, I can't see your faces today. So that bothers me somewhat because I like seeing you. But that's okay. Eventually, I'll make Mother Vrindavaneshwari come back, so I'm not talking to that brick wall in back of me.
I'm here.
Good, Mother. So I want to pick up from last week. Last week, I asked devotees what was happening, how they were feeling. I don't know what they're experiencing. And I got some feedback. And whenever you have feedback from me, you could either type it in or you send it or tell Mother Vrindavaneshwari, and I deal with it. So a couple weeks ago, Sheshashayi Vishnu asked about what to do about the children and when he's trying to chant japa. And I didn't see him last week. I didn't answer, but I still have to answer because I gave him an answer of just chant through it. And that's true because that's the nature of being a grihasta. The children aren't going away. They're going to grow up and you'll get some relief. But aside from that, all of us have learned to have a sacred space. And that sacred space in your home becomes, it's either your temple room or it's a room a space that you can go to and you can really pour your heart out. You can chant, you can meditate, you can be there. It can be a closet, it can be in a corner, but it's a space that you go to. And once you enter that space, the consciousness changes because you know that you're in your sacred space. Ultimately, the sacred space is meant to be found within ourselves. But that's something, as far as Sheshayi Vishnu, that is something that could be done. He could make a sacred space. And it's interesting because when the children see you go there, even if a child comes, they'll have to sit down and conform. And if they don't, then together y'all leave the sacred space. So eventually they'll know, I'm in a different area. I have to be quiet. I have to sit down with daddy. Aside from that, Mother Sita mentioned that she felt as though we needed philosophy. And, you know, she was thinking about the Gita. And I said, well, I've committed to continuing with the holy name. I said, but let me think about it. So in doing so, I thought about the loving relationship of my dear friend Krishna and Arjuna. I love that relationship with Krishna and Arjuna. To me, although the Bhagavad Gita is spoke on a battlefield, it is such an affectionate relationship. And, you know, first of all, Krishna, he sets the stage, he sets the mood by being the chariot driver of Arjuna. This is the supreme personality of Godhead. And he's decided that he's going to drive the chariot of Arjuna. So that's extremely moving. It's affectionate. And then Arjuna, no matter what he's going through, he says, oh, Krishna, pull my chariot up so I can see who's desires to fight. But then Arjuna says, oh Madhava, oh Madhusudana, Rishikesh. And as you know, eventually he said, oh Govinda, I shall not fight. So it was a little turbulent, tumultuous. It was really rough in that first chapter for Arjuna. He was on an emotional roller coaster. But at a certain point, Arjuna pulled himself together and he was able to utter Kapanya dosho pahatrasvabhava prichchami tvam dharma samuda cheta jashreshchan nishitan bruhitan me shishasteham sadivam tvam papanam. And at that point, he decided to stop the friendly relationship. Friendships generally denote equality. But there is a surit friend, a well-wishing friend, like your father, like the Supreme Lord, like your guru. And so he wanted to stop that equal relationship, and he moved on to the point of surrender. Shishas. Now I'm your shishya, I'm your disciple. I'm a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So Krishna, being Krishna, he chastised him a little bit, but ultimately he began to give Arjuna just what he was looking for, which was shelter. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna shows the relationship between himself and his devotees or the living entities. We have that relationship. But he told Arjuna, he says, if you want to understand, he said, if you just try to learn this truth by approaching a spiritual master, you need a teacher. Make those submissive inquiries, but render service also. Those self-realized souls will impart knowledge unto you because they've seen the truth. And then he says, having learned the truth, you'll know that all beings are but part of me and that they are all in me and that they are mine. So Krishna really substantiated his position and the position of not just Arjuna, but all of us as servants. And Arjuna, again, so affectionately, you can see that Arjuna was taking shelter of Krishna. That same situation has to happen with Nam Prabhu. But not just did Arjuna take shelter of Krishna, he understood that there was the need of a spiritual master. For us, we too have to follow that example, and we not just find a spiritual master because Prabhupada is here. His compassion is limitless. He's found us. But we have to take shelter, and that shelter means we take the direction and the gifts of the spiritual master, and Bhagavad Gita is giving that. So I was thinking, a young man told me one day, he said, Hari, he said, you're old-fashioned. I was telling him about the program. I said, ultimately, if you become initiated, if you aspire to become initiated, you have to chant at least 16 good rounds. This is what the spiritual master is going to ask you, and follow the 4 regulated principles of freedom. He said, that's old-fashioned. He said, devotees can be devotees. You just don't understand. And I was a little perplexed because he was speaking to me with such conviction. And I was thinking, well, when I was in the temple, there was a whole structure. There was a whole group of people that would help you in your journey. You had a spiritual master, but you had the temple president, the vice president, the temple commander, the Sankirtan leader. Sometimes the ashram leader. And in that way, we always had shelter. But and they would ask how you're doing. And we understood the importance of taking shelter of those instructions in that direction, that guidance. But today, without so many of us live outside, that that structure isn't so much put in place. Although it's still there, the understanding is still cemented, but I don't know how much devotees understand that it is not optional to follow the four regulated principles or finish the 16 rounds. It is our duty. It is the requirement. And sometimes if you tell devotees this is the standard, then they feel like you're picking on them or just not treating them affectionately because you're doing one thing and you expect them to do that as well. And they find oftentimes that there's a weakness of heart or certain attachments and they can't do it, even when devotees have become initiated. So that mood can make a preacher hesitant to tell those truths which are not palatable truths. It can make devotees or newcomers begin to shy away. But the truth is that which is spoken for the benefit of others, not for some political end, Srila Prabhupada says. We speak the truth. Why? Because we have a compassionate nature, not a fault-finding, put-down nature. That nature is that because we do so much bridge preaching today, we cross over into other arenas. We associate with so many people that consider themselves yogis. And their lifestyle may not be as disciplined as ours. They love kirtan. They feel good. And the ladies dress up and the guys, they like to play nice instruments. But the seriousness of understanding the commitment to the process is not there with them. The conversations that are had can go from the kirtan to something very worldly, which we used to call prajapa, village talk, useless talk. These are things that I'm bringing up because I don't know who you're taking shelter of, but I know that if you want a relationship with Nam Prabhu, these are prerequisites. These are things that we must fight and strive to do. We need to join the club, become members of Club 16-4, those 16 good rounds and those 4 wonderful regulated principles. That's who we become. And as we do that, our life begins to change. But oftentimes our environment is not so conducive if we still hang with the old friends, or if we still take delight in the music I used to like and the places I used to be. It's, I'm young. So it's like that oftentimes. People feel that way. So why am I explaining this? Oh, I was talking about the loving relationship between Krishna and Arjuna. Well, after Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, trying to take shelter, Krishna began to educate Arjuna, and he explained, he said, Vyavasadatmika buddhi, ekeka kurunandana. He began to explain the process of buddhi yoga. That second chapter, I'm just going to hit a few of them. Arjuna said, Krishna told Arjuna, those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one, O beloved child of the Kurus. The intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. And so Srila Prabhupada said he was inspired by this verse when he heard this verse when he was young in the 50s. And he says, and here's Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasatmika intelligence. It's fixed, resolute intelligence. So he started to explain Buddhi Yoga. But then somehow I got a butt call from Ravinder Saruprabhu yesterday. Sorry to explain it like that. And I didn't call him. Did I call him back and see if he really wanted anything? And he said, no, 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 no. He said, but what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm thinking about class. I said, I'm thinking about tomorrow. I said, you came in my mind this morning. I'm thinking about Buddhi yoga, you know. And I went to Vyavasaratmika Buddhi. And I said, that is the understanding. With our intelligence, we have to surrender. And he said, yeah, but then he said, Tesham such as a yuktanam, you know, budgetam pretty poor become. I said, no, I was thinking. And so I got really fired up. And then I said, what did Krishna say? And Krishna says, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. The Dami Buddhi Yogam. And he says, real intelligence. Krishna gives it. So if we feel as though that we're lacking, but we try to surrender to Krishna, he says he gives us that intelligence. And in that purport, then you think, well, I have different authorities. How do they think about me? But we all have Srila Prabhupada Shelter as a spiritual master. And this is what Srila Prabhupada says. Is that a person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization. But if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness with love and devotion and render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be done with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. And then Krishna jumps in. That's what Prabhupada said. And then the next verse, Krishna says, Evam nukam nupartatam. What he said, Tesham evam nukam partam, aham ganajam tamaha. He says, to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge that darkness born of ignorance. So all these things that are not Krishna consciousness, they are ignorance. They are illusion. They are the things that keep us away from that loving relationship that you see with Krishna and Arjuna. There are things which stop us from being able to realize our loving relationship with the holy name. This is still Krishna, but this is Krishna extending himself. Just as he tells Arjuna to surrender, but then Krishna says, you know, do this with intelligence. But he says, but if it's too hard, I'll help you from within the heart. All I'm asking is that you be sincere. Don't bluff. If you're weak, it's okay. I'm going to help you. So that is the answer to how we should be seen if we have weaknesses of heart. We shouldn't be afraid that someone is going to ostracize us because Guru and Krishna want to help us. They see the spark shining within our hearts, and they're here to blaze, to shine, to fan that spark so that it becomes a blazing fire. Anyway, I feel like I fulfilled most part of my vow to Mother Sita. You know, we're looking at the loving relationship of Arjuna and Krishna, but that same loving relationship can be had with Namprabhu. The same steps that Arjuna went through, he had to come to the point of surrender. We too have to come to the point of surrender. Once we make a decision that we want Krishna and we start chanting and trying to apply all these things that we've talked about in the previous weeks, then we find eventually there will be some reciprocation. Even if you notice you don't see Krishna, you still will begin to lose a taste for those things that constantly pull your way. It is the trick of staying engaged in the service of Krishna. When I was young, again, we had to always be engaged out on our service, or we'd be engaged in chanting, or we'd come back to the temple and we'd do some others, just full engagement. And that full engagement didn't leave that much room for illusion. And that is the protection that comes. So anyway, these instructions that are given by the spiritual master are extremely sweet and merciful. And that is the beginning of the relationship. So Borijan Prabhu has been helping a lot. So I couldn't just leave him. When I spoke with you about those different keys, when we got to the last keys, humility was great. We got to hear a lot. And Nam and taking shelter of the holy name was also there. But that last key is the most important key. Borijan Prabhu calls it the master key. And that master key is waiting for Krishna's causeless mercy. That is the key that it supersedes all other keys. That key is the key, just waiting for Krishna's causeless mercy. So after that, I came to a point that I wanted to share with you. I wonder if I should give you just a little bit. Just a little bit. If we wish our attachment to Krishna and our desire to serve him to increase, we need this ninth key. It is the master key, the key that opens all the doors to our advancement and to everything that has been discussed in this book. Ultimately, we can depend only on this key, on Krishna's causeless mercy. We may try to advance using all the tricks and techniques we have been taught and may have taught others, but it won't be long before we realize that all techniques and all form of endeavor will always prove 2 fingers too short. That gives the reference to the 2 fingers too short. When Mother Yashoda was trying to bound Krishna, and she was determined. She wanted to bound Krishna. He's growing up wrong. He's going to be a naughty boy, and I've got to get him straight. So she's going to bound him. She's going to tie him up. But Krishna also didn't want to be bound. So we have a problem. We have the desire and the determination of his devotee, and then Krishna being the supreme controller, Ishwar. If he has a desire, what's going to happen? But Krishna's desire can be checked when the desire of his devotee is strong and determined. As he watched Mother Yashoda begin to perspire, her hair begin to fall, her comb dropped from her hair. Still trying to bind him, Krishna thought, shh, look at her, And her determination mixes with Krishna's ability, and it melted his heart. So those 2 fingers is Krishna's, is that determination that's needed, and ultimately Krishna's sanction. But I want to read something to you because we were talking this morning about feeling loved. And I told you I appreciate the love from Krishna and Arjuna. So it's a little bit to read today, but this is how we're going to tie up our entire situation with attempting to move forward. I thought immediately that I would start speaking from the living names. But we want to approach the living names understanding that we have a relationship with Krishna and we want to wake it up. We want to get that relationship moving. And that relationship has to be awakened simply because Krishna already loves us. We have to reciprocate. So this is called feel loved. Many devotees struggle with chanting because before they can take shelter of Krishna's names, they have to travel through the desert of seeing the truth about themselves, that they have little sincerity and no taste, that the mind is uncontrolled and filled with anarthas, and that they have no power to help themselves. This stage is necessary because it convinces us that we have nothing to depend on except Krishna's holy name. Only when we understand this fact can we chant with a full heart. So sweet. But it is not easy to cross that desert, and some devotees give up before they reach the other side. It helps to understand that Krishna loves us. And he is with us even when it appears he is not. Perhaps we wonder why Krishna should love us, but his love is completely natural, for he is the seed-giving father of every soul, Bhagavad Gita 14:4. He not only loves his devotees, but the devotees of his devotees are also dear to him, Srimad Bhagavatam 9:463. Whatever faults exist in us, great as they may be, are only coverings over our true selves, mere impositions on our actual nature. Can we trust Krishna's unswerving affection for us? Out of his affection, he steadfastly accompanies us as we transmigrate from body to body, from human to hog, from worm to germ. Who but one dearest well-wisher would do that? Krishna offers himself to us through his holy names, and we should accept his merciful gesture by continuing to chant Hare Krishna through any difficulty. We should also continue to offer him service regardless of how seemingly insignificant our service is. That Krishna is personally reciprocating and assisting us will gradually become more and more apparent. Krishna will let us know from within that he is present now, that he has always been present, and that he will always be present in the future. When we perceive Krishna's affection for us, naturally, our own love for him will increase. It is so nice to know that you're loved. All of us are so diligently looking for affection. Can I find affection there? Is that deep affection there? Is this the person? Is this the situation? We're always looking for that. But I always say that we're loved from the gate. Before we even manifest here, we were loved by Krishna. But we need to feel that love. And when we feel that love, we'll be able to reciprocate. Taking shelter of the holy name will enable us to feel that love. We don't want to be like the devotee who gives up, trying to cross that desert of dryness before we taste the nectar that's there on the other side. I want to continue with a nice story. In the Brihad Bhagavatamrita 2.655-60, Srila Sanatana Goswami illustrates just how specific Krishna's love for each soul is. Gopakumar has just returned to the spiritual world and is now waiting on the path where Krishna will appear after a day of cow herding. Then from a distance, I saw him, his charming flute in his hand. Running quickly, he emerged from among his friends and animals and approached me, saying in a sweet voice, "Look, Sridham, here is my dear friend, Swarup, the sun who shines on the lotus of your family." He leaped forward and came close to me, compelled by affection, of his helpless devotee. I fainted in love at seeing him. He caught hold of me by the neck, and suddenly he too fell to the ground. This is sweet. In his commentary, Srila Sanatana Goswami writes, Gopakumar was already aware, at least theoretically, that Krishna is very affectionate to his helpless devotees. But now he learned that Krishna had affection specifically for him. Merely seeing Krishna was enough to utterly enchant Gopakumar, but his new discovery pushed him toward the limit of ecstasy. Even after hearing such things, though, devotees still wonder why Krishna does not appear to them while they are chanting or offering service. After all, we want to be with him, and it would help our devotional service so much if he would simply make his presence known to us a little more often. Why doesn't he surrender to our need to see him if he loves us so much and wants to help us reach him? Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary on the Rasalila section of Srimad Bhagavatam offers illumination. There he reveals Krishna's mind and how he deals with the sadhakas. He especially mentions the chanting of Krishna's names. So now this is why Krishna deals with us the way he does. This is the explanation. For those surrendered souls who worship me through Nam Kirtan and other means, I do not respond in order to make their worship more perfect. O gopis, who cannot understand my real intention? Not seeing me, those surrendered souls develop deep humility, feelings. At last, everything I have done has been useless. Because I am an offender, Krishna has not shown even the slightest favor towards me. Let me be damned. By constantly thinking in this way, those who have not yet developed mature love for me will become free from lust and anger and will awaken pure devotion that is full of power and brilliance. So Krishna's always got the plan. Even though we don't see him, sometimes we can't feel him. He's coming. He has such an affection for his devotees. And here it's revealed specifically, he has a specific affection for each and every one of us. Although we're one of many, countless living entities with a relationship with Krishna, Krishna is so personal that he has a personal loving affection and a specific relationship with each and every one of us. And that is just so nice to know. We so often think that Krishna's abandoning us, or he doesn't see us, or I'm offensive, so he's ignoring me. No. It's the other side. That is why we don't offend devotees. When we see a devotee just doing so many nonsensical things, we don't criticize them. Let the person in charge of them correct them. We don't know where they're at on their path of purification. As they move on, Krishna's not going to look at all the bad things they did. He's going to see the good things they did, how they worshiped the deity, how they kept calling his name, how they served other devotees with affection. Those are the things he sees. So this devotional family, Krishna's vision is not like our vision. Krishna, he's looking to see how he can bring us closer and how he can bring out the true beauty within us. Anyway, it says this meaning, I'll go on. I don't have much more. This meaning that his seeming lack of response to how he has chosen to respond. He is not ignoring us. He is being very personal in his dealings. He is not trying to show us that he does not care or that he is not aware of our struggle, but he uses his absence to help us develop a deep and humble yearning for him. When will our eyes meet? When can I touch you? When will this long yearning end? And when will I see you again? O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Matura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? Srila Prabhupada, today that remembrance of you came to me in a very nice way. I had a great longing for you, so I called out to you. You're my very dear friend, and I need your association so much. From the lowest platform to the highest platform. What's there in perfection, we get dent, shallow realizations. Krishna is always reciprocating. The process is evolving. So we take shelter of these names. We don't chant japa as a romanticism. Yeah, it feels good. I was breathing, my posture was nice. We chant japa, trying to reconnect, trying to convince Krishna that we want a relationship. That's why we chant the way we do. Because our spiritual master has told us. We approached him. And so we approached him, and he told us, you want the truth? You want, take these names. This is the easiest process that we have to give. Chant these names. And when you finish chanting japa, you chant japa so that your heart can open. And as your heart begins to open, when you finish japa, glorify Krishna in kirtan. Don't just do it because you've got a good voice or some great instruments or you learn some new beats. Do it because you just feel that yearning to be with him, to glorify him, to serve him. Anyway, remember, all this calling Krishna is we're asking him to be engaged in his service. Seva is really what we're asking for. We're asking Krishna to use us. We have committed unlimited offenses to other living entities, to Vaishnavas, to the holy name, to the deities, and to the Dham. Even though we are now attempting to chant, the mind is still filled by an offensive mentality. The independent Supreme Lord Krishna does not appear before us according to our desire, but as he wishes. Our purity, our humility, our dependence, and our desire should all be intensified. Let me be damned, my critical nature, and all the things that have come from my false ego rather than from my desire to serve Krishna. Let such repentance wash away our offensive mentality and our lust and anger with it. This is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's broomstick and toe method. Look, O mind, how you are keeping me from Krishna. Such thinking frees the mind from passion and awakens such devotion that is full of power and brilliance. So the last thing I'm going to read today is just this is called If You Want Krishna's Mercy. And then we'll go on with our conversation. Although we are very, very thin and fallen souls, we're not hopeless. Our hope is the mercy of the holy names. If you want Krishna's mercy, place yourself in the hands of the holy names and give up any sense you have of being the controller, even of your spiritual experience. All you can do is to listen carefully to your chanting and allow your consciousness to touch the holy names. We must bathe ourselves as well as our mind, intelligence, false ego, material consciousness, and the nectar of Krishna's names. Do not feel discouraged when you chant. Is chanting too hard? Your mind or body tired? Good. It means you have no qualification and that you have only Krishna to depend on. Now, you are free to try your best to serve Krishna by chanting his holy names. So I needed to go there before I could move on, because I feel that the Japa book is so foundational in coming to the understanding that we really need a relationship with Krishna. It comes to a point when we are on our path looking for Krishna that we bump into him again by the grace, by chance or by grace of Guru and Krishna. And we're given the holy name. And then we either make a decision to continue on this journey or to stop and go back. It's like going to sleep again. So for those of us who've at least had enough encouragement in the association of ISKCON, then we want to move forward. We don't want to go back to the life that was harming us, to the life that was so filled with disappointment. We want to move forward to really understanding that we've gotten this human form of life. We want to take advantage of it. We want to petition Krishna to engage us in his service. And there, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, Bhaktamam abhijananti yavanjash chashmitapataha. He said, one can know me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And one is when one is united, when one is in union with me, through such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Being engaged in Krishna's service gives us everything. It gives us Krishna. It gives us that place where every word is a song, every step is a dance, and the whole atmosphere is surcharged with devotional life. It's completely different from the atmosphere we live in, which is not conducive. But the answer to our question of how Krishna feels about us, you know, I I get in trouble so much, but I hear an old song, you know, and it says, if you don't know me by now, you're never going to know me. So you have to know and feel that Krishna does love us. Even if you haven't experienced the depth of that, that's okay. But within our, as we're moving forward on our journey, you should feel, well, I'm not reciprocating. I haven't began to love Krishna properly, but I know he loves me. And that type of conviction will help us on our path. So I want us to chant again a round of japa. But before we chant, I would like to give you another sweet ball. I haven't given you a sweet in a long time. This is a very special sweet. So relax a little bit. This says, I'll tell you where I got it from. I got this sweet out of a bag of sweets that Satchidananda Swami had. He keeps all kinds of sweets too. He doesn't call them that, but he's got sweets. So this says, my dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. Maharaj did a whole meditation on this one verse from CC, and he took us on a guided tour. I hope somebody out there is tuning in on 9 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Facebook as he's given these different discussions on the living names. This one prayer is from CC, but it's in the living names. And it's in the section of the living names on Seva. So it's such a sweet prayer. It's as personal as it gets. I used to have problem with this prayer because it says, although I have forgotten you for so many years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I used to think, well, today I'm trying to surrender unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. I don't feel like that. I feel I want to be Krishna's sincere and serious servant. And please engage me in your service. So I didn't want to give you my concoction the way I chant the verse, but I'm hoping that one day I too can speak like this to Krishna. So, do you have your beads? Do I have mine? You didn't see them. Okay. So, Mother Brindavaneshwari?
Ready?
Okay. So we're just going to chant a little bit. We're going to chant japa, and then I'll stop. Okay. So can we start now? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Sri Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Try to fix ourselves on Krishna. Try to feel him, see him in the holy name. Try to take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Rama Ram Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hare Hare Rama 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 Hari Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hare Hare Rama Ram Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hare Hare Rama Ram Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Rama Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hare Hare Rama Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hare Hare Ram Hari Hare. My dear Lord Krishna, for so long I've abandoned you in a material world. But today, I surrender unto you. Today, I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. So, Hare Krishna, Mother Vrindavaneshwari.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, I don't know, with all my botching this morning, were we able to see Krishna?
It was lovely. Yeah. Well, we saw Krishna behind your shoulder and we saw the Panchatattva darshan, which was beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. So, Prabhus, I want to stop here and maybe there's some questions, some comments. You can express whatever you want. This is time for us.
So if anyone has a question, you can click on the raise hand button and we can go in order. Or you can type it in the chat box. Janet Vatsala, you can unmute your microphone. Oh, sorry. Sheshashayi Vishnu had a question. Jana Vatsala Mataji, you're next. So Sheshashayi Vishnu, go ahead.
Hi, Prabhu. Good morning.
Hare Krishna.
So
at least I didn't quit thinking about you, Sheshashayi Vishnu.
Yeah, you know what? I apologize. I missed last week. I actually overslept.
It's okay.
Yeah. But I don't have a question, but I wanted to just give an appreciation for the prayer that you said while we were chanting. it was just, it's really, when you have that meditation, it's really, really impactful. And it really puts an entire perspective to your japa. And I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you. But this is the introduction. It's in the book. It's on page 76. But this is from Satchidananda Swami. He has so much nectar in the living names, which is obvious. We're down there at the living names. But the presentation that he does, I feel as though the devotees are missing out on such a wonderful opportunity. If you can go on Facebook and hear from Maharaj, because it's one thing to hear some guy fumbling through pages, but to hear it coming right from the heart of one of those people who have an affection, where the fire of the relationship with Nam-Prabhu is burning, it would be so wonderful. So thank you. But that's from that you're going to hear more of this type of thing, because we're going to move on to the living names. Also, we're going to continue the program. I was asked to continue to do it. So as long as we come on Saturdays, I'm here. So next, who is it, Mother?
Jana Vatsala, Prabhu, you had a question? You can unmute your microphone.
Hare Krishna, Haryasva, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, please accept mine.
Thank you. So I just wanted to comment. I really want to just express gratitude for the japa we just did just now, because it reminded me of being in japa retreats in Gitanagari when I was younger, and how that's like a real support when you get to hear other devotees chanting, and I practice like chanting at the same time as you. So I got to try out other kind of tempos and speeds to just focus myself. So thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Chaitanya, did you have a question? I saw your mic was unmuted for a moment.
Thank you so much. No, there's no question. Sorry, that was Keshava playing around with the phone. I apologize. Haryasva, thank you so much for obviously, your time's very valuable, and really appreciate the last few weeks that you've been doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaitanya. The point isn't me. Drona once asked me, he says, why isn't there more deep discussion after the things we talk about? And I told Drona that until the message touches the heart, and until there's a yearning, then there's nothing to say. There may be an appreciation, but as we feel a need to go deeper, I bother certain people because right now I need more, so I keep bothering them. But I want you to know that just your comments or chanting together with us is very encouraging to me. You're helping me on my journey. All of us have to take the journey of self-discovery. It's really about applying Krishna consciousness to ourselves and our own time. And so we make advancement at our own pace, and nobody can force us to do anything. So I appreciate. And today I wanted to add in some heavy truths so that you could know that no matter what happens, you're loved and appreciated. We should feel that. I always felt that in the ISKCON society. And so the younger members should feel that as well.
Sudevi, Prabhu, you had a question or a comment?
Yes, I did. Is anybody else want to go? So I'll let them go.
It's all you.
It's me. Okay. Okay. Haribol, Haryasva, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mother Sudevi.
Yes.
I've been needing you.
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, earlier you mentioned, like in the beginning, when we were in the temple, we have so many support. And you give the example of temple president, temple commander, Sankirtan leader, and we did everything together. And then also I remember reading in Japa Reform Notebook, my Guru was saying that chanting Japa together with the devotees will be too embarrassed to fall asleep. So we get the strength of doing it together. And then, you also see how this devotee is chanting so nicely, how, doing so you want to do like that and follow the example. So it was like, very nice and to do together. So, I was remembering how when we used to chant during Japa time after Mangala Arti. But like we said, now that we are chanting on our own, on our own time, on our own space, on our own house, what would you say? Would you say put a tape of Prabhupada chanting? Or what would your recommendation be?
Well, I touched on that when I first started with Sheshashayi Vishnu. The first thing is that at home, you have to have a sacred space. You have to create a space where you go and it's time out. The phone doesn't ring in that space. Put your phone on mute. It can be as simple or as elaborate. Like I shared my sacred space with you today, for those of you who can see. But the point is that you have to go somewhere in that house where it's my time to be with Krishna. And you sit down at a scheduled time. I know how hectic the schedules are, but you do that. And if you do that, you will feel the power of your japa. You also should know that this is a very, very special time, I think, in our life, because everything has been slowed down. And so many of us have been inside and we don't come together at the temple like we used to and things of that nature. But we can go in our hearts. You have to look at every opportunity and see its advantages. I can't wait till we get together. I was chanting, sometimes I go different places, and I went the other morning, I go down Penn's Landing and I get into a little corner and there's bushes growing and I'm in the back and it's such a sweet little place. And I thought, whoa, this would be so nice to have some devotees down here chanting with me. Somebody over there, they can have, observing space, and things like that. But I'm always thinking when I'm at a place that I find that place that I can chant and let my spirit run free. I can chant. I'm not worried so much about the phone and what I got to do and who needs. You have to block those things out. But the other side of what you're saying, Mother, is when I first came to the temple in the mid-'70s, the temple room was unbelievable. We chanted japa so loud, and we go back and forth. And if you got to the corner of a room, and you notice I still hold my ear when I'm chanting, it's because when I first joined the temple, I learned to chant like that, and I get an echo. But if you got into the corner and start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare, and it just would just echo and echo. So the corners were really valuable in the temple room in those days. But the real point is that it's unity. Together, the power of prayer. Some devotees can't handle praying with a lot of people around them. It's too noisy for them. But for me, it's always enthused me. And that prayer that's taking place, that energy, if you're sensitive, you can feel it. But we will have such things once the temple opens up. I'm sure that, Vrindavaneshwari will help and we'll be able to come to the temple. Nothing but a little blanket, sit outside in the backyard and just chant, or in the temple room. And together we'll call Krishna. Together we'll individually together petition Krishna to engage us in his service. Hey Radha, hey Krishna, please use us. I hope that's okay, Mother Sudevi.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you very much.
So
Thank you, Mother.
Chintamani Devi Dasi wrote in the chat, Hare Krishna, I am so very happy to hear that the Sangha will continue. Hari Bol, thank you. Your servant Chintamani Devi Dasi. Chintamani, thank you. Did you want to add anything to that? Or?
Well,
Great. Thank you.
I often say if the devotees text and tell me something that they need, something that will help them. I hope Mother Sita was around today because I did as much Gita as I could throw in there, so that she could have Gita, back in our understanding. But that is just so foundational, that relationship with Krishna. And when we read the Gita and the Bhagavatam, it cements our conviction. It gives us knowledge. It dissipates our illusions. And so when we needed these verses, they come back and they strengthen us. So yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm just looking forward to when I can see you, when we can come together. And still, this is a nice arrangement as well. So I thank all of you so very much.
We have a couple
Glories
more.
to Prabhupada.
Suman Mataji had a comment. You can unmute your microphone, Suman.
Okay. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Mother.
Thank you very much for your class. It has been very helpful to me in learning how to do japa, and I'm practicing it. And
I can't hear you well, Mother.
okay, one second. Yeah. Thank you for your nice class. And I just have a comment. I think it was very nice to see Panch Tattva on the screen that you showed to us, because I think around 20 years back or 25 years back, I went to your home program, and there I saw Tattva, and I always remember those Tattva. They look so pure, and I wanted to see them again, and it was nice to see them again on the screen. Krishna fulfilled my desire.
Thank you. They want to see you. Remember, this chanting, if we take shelter of the Panchatattva, they want us to have love of God. Krishna from within the heart, Nam Prabhu, Lord Chaitanya, since we're just being bombarded with help, we have to take the help, feel the love, and we'll be fine. Thank you so much, Mother.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Gaura Shakti Prabhu wrote in the chat box, Hare Krishna, I just wanted to offer my gratitude to you, Haryasva Prabhu, for these wonderful sessions, and I'm so happy to hear that there will be more. Gaura Shakti Prabhu, did you want to unmute and add anything?
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say thank you. And I also second that it was great to see Panchatattva again live.
Well, I was happy to let them give their darshan. Also, I from Jana Vasalya, David to it. Anyway, I'm always bothering your Guru Maharaj, so I told him, as long as you come, it's fine for me, because that gets me to speak with Rabindra Rupabu more and more. I have something to talk to him about. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Haribol.
Shobha Radhe Prabhu wrote in the chat box, the best sleep ball of the morning. This Sangha will be continued. Haribol. Shobha Radhe, anything else you'd like to add to that?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I am the unfortunate one in this group. This morning I missed the darshan of the Panchatattva because I joined a few minutes late. But like I said, we're going to do this. So next week, I hope you will give us darshan again, and I will get it then. One of the things it just seems like a lot of things we have heard before, but or at least I have heard them, but they have not affected me. They have not registered in my head the way it's supposed to. This morning you said, when you were talking about humility, not to offend devotees, and you said Krishna is going to not overlook their mistakes, and he's only going to look at their efforts, and he's going to be helping them. And I don't know, it just affected me in a very profound way. I mean, another reason why we shouldn't be offending devotees. I've heard it so many times that we should be very careful in how we deal with devotees, how we should be with them. But to look at it from that angle, it just hit me on the head even harder. And so I am so grateful that these will continue, because I'm a slow learner. I don't learn things fast, so I need these periodically for me to learn all these important lessons. I'm still working. My japa is not of good quality. That's another thing I realized today. Don't hide the fact. It is what it is, and I'm trying, and I can only stay focused on my effort here right now. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thanks, Mother. Just pray.
Yes.
I mean, I get so frustrated sometimes, but the point is, Krishna likes that. I mean, I can't understand. Krishna likes drama himself, but when we get to the brink of just, I can't do this, I'm frustrated. Look what he does to the gopis, He's always doing something to Srimati Radharani. He's leaving them. He's letting them just suffer. But as they suffer, they experience more and more of him. And the section I read today, he says he doesn't show up, as we're chanting. And why? Because he's letting us, our love for him increase. He's letting us drop the unwanted things in the heart. So it's all, Krishna is doing nothing but extending his affection. Sometimes the parent has to treat the child in such a way that the child feels, oh, you don't love me, you don't like me, you won't let me do this, and they won't even say anything because they understand this is for your own good. So for ourselves, we stay steady, look back. If you look back, you'll see that Krishna has always been kind. He's always trying to help. And then, eventually it'll open up for all of us. I'm just like you. I'm down there trying to broaden the relationship, but I'm grateful. That's when it's working a little bit. When you experience things like gratitude, you're thankful for the opportunity. And the more you increase your service, it is the service attitude that you offer. Krishna doesn't need us, but the service attitude. When you do his service in a very nice way, when you're grateful that you have an opportunity to do the flowers, clean the plates, then it touches Krishna. So thank you so very much.
Hare Krishna. We have Sita Prabhu and then Golokananda Prabhu have questions. So Sita, go ahead.
Mother Sita.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mother.
Thank you so much. It was really, really, really nicely the way you put it together, and the connection you made was very, very, very nicely done. It really touched me on a couple places. And thank you so much for doing this. I do miss.
Well, you inspired me. You told me you needed more Gita. So yeah, I thank you. If there's anything else that you think of or others think of that they need in this program that we haven't, if you share that information, put it in the box or send a note or a call during the week, then maybe something can happen. I don't know. I don't know that much. I just ask Krishna to help me. Yes.
Okay. Sita Prabhu, anything else?
I'm good. Thank you.
Hey, Golokananda Priya Prabhu, you're up.
Haribol Prabhu, this is Golokananda Priya. Thank you very much for your nice, talk on japa and about worshiping Krishna with love. And one thing that remind me, you were talking about that we have to worship Krishna with all our hearts. Yesterday, it reminded me of the verse that I read in Bhagavad Gita yesterday. It's 10:8. The second line, Krishna says that you also mentioned how you have to be wise You have to be intelligent, use your intelligence. Krishna himself said, the wise who perfectly knows this engage in the devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So that's what you're talking. So since you speak about Bhagavad Gita, I think that I have to add this. And also about chanting in Devotees Association. I have nice experience for 30 years. I was in North Carolina serving there. Every day after Mangalarti, most of the devotees, they sit in one place in the temple room, they chant together. If they're gonna chant, they just do the parikrama around the temple. And it was such, I experienced such, you can really chant very nicely and fix your mind on Krishna when you got this strength with the devotees. And during Japa, nobody talked. We just concentrated on Japa. I think this was led by Bir Krishna Maharaj. And he himself will sit there and he won't allow nobody to talk in the temple room about any other subject. Just chant, just concentrate on chanting.
Yes, it's going to happen. Soon we'll be together again and we'll be able to chant, you know, like that. But that arena, that our temples were like that. You know, back in the 70s and in the 80s, our temples were like that. We'd come in the temple room. I remember when Shesha Prabhu was the president in Philadelphia, you knew where to see Shesha. After Mangalarti, he walked back and forth in front of the altar. The doors were closed. They were addressing the deities, and that's where Shesha finished his japa. When he finished his japa, he left the temple room. And he saw that everyone was there chanting their rounds. So the temple president's there chanting his japa, no talking, but he sees who's there and who's not there. So it's good. It's encouragement. Thank you. Okay, Mother Vrindavaneshwari.
One more. Sorry, Rajiv Prabhu, you can unmute your microphone, and I think this will be our last question then.
Sure.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Haryasva Prabhu, for this wonderful session. For me, somebody who's like a new kid in the block, and you know, my meditation is, you know, highly contaminated with the material desires. I find these sessions very, very valuable and very practical.
Who is this?
This is Rajiv. Rajiv, you know.
Rajiv?
Yeah, Rajiv. Yeah. So I find these sessions extremely valuable. It helps me, like, you know, kind of like a laser pointed focus. Because when I'm left to my own devices in spiritual sense, you know, I do it, but then, you know, mind is, as always, you know, caught up in so many things, you know, mundane things. So this kind of really kind of gets me, like, you know, perspective, like where I stand in overall scheme of things. And, you know, the humility aspect is pretty, you know, it's something which I really value. And I think this gives me a lot of, you can say, like a roadmap. Okay, you know, I have to travel long road ahead. So thank you very much. I just want to mention that.
Thank you. I think one thing I want to say before we leave, what we can all meditate on is returning to the temple with a great service attitude. We want to find a way to serve Radhachar Bihari, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sri Gauranitai. We want to make the service attitude of Philadelphia so wonderful that it attracts the mercy of Krishna, and even better, the mercy of his devotees. So remember, the real fruit of the japa is that we get service, but it is our service attitude that shows that we really appreciate the benedictions that are coming from Guru and Krishna. So let's meditate on that. How can we together become stronger devotees so that our service attitude in the Philadelphia Yatra begins to shine? And I'm going to meditate on that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.